Empathy without boundaries equals self-destruction, part 2. If you didn't already, please go back to part 1. There's some great information in there leading up to this episode. In part 1, just a really quick recap, I talked about how your empathy is a gift. I talked about 2 different examples of people with empathy and how it may be viewed as a good or bad thing by others. I talked about how empaths are very rare and we are the do-gooders of the world. We're different. I talked about how your empathy should not be used for solving other people's issues. I talked about how you want to steer clear of using your empathy for romantic relationships and for relatives. I talked about how your empathy is not for everyone. It's not for using it on the lazy. It's not for the entitled. And it's definitely not for the ungrateful. Instead, your empathy should be used for helping other people and consoling hurt people and also spreading information and love. I talked about some good ways to use your empathy. You can use it to be a coach. You can use it to mentor people. You can use it to bring people together. You can use it on a cause, like giving to the needy. Biggest takeaway from part 1 is that you don't want to get into bad relationships, whether it be romantic relationships or bad friendships. You don't want to friend down. You want to save your empathy for those who need it, and you want to give your intimacy to those who are equally yoked with you, which leads us into part 2. Do not friend down. I said that I was going to give a story time in part 2, and here goes. Friending down is one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in life. And it happens to me, well, it used to happen to me frequently because I'm an empath. And when people have a problem, I tend to want to solve it. And I had to wake up from that. I had to snap myself out of that and realize that some people just weren't worth it. Okay? Some people are not worth getting into a relationship with because they drain you emotionally. They're always in need of something. They always want to steal your resources. Some of them are copycats, and that's a big red flag. Also, some people don't have their own thing going on. They don't have their own life going on. And when you get around those copycats and people who don't have their own identity, it's going to get ugly. Because one thing we know about a copycat is that they copy everything you do. Okay? And you may think that it's harmless. I know as a child and as a teenager, I did think it was harmless. I had a few copycats around me, and I thought it was harmless. As we got older, it got worse. As I got older, I also started to befriend people who did not have their own ambitions in life. They got around me and others, not just me. They got around me and others to chip away at our identity, meaning they took a piece from me. They took a piece from other people. Oh, I'll be friendly like her. Oh, I'll wear my hair like her. Oh, I'll use her slang and use her saying and tell her jokes and take her friends. She has good friends who are loyal, so I'll get around her to befriend these people because I really, really like them. And why do I say it turns ugly? Because eventually these people, they'll steal your sauce. They'll steal everything from you. Meaning they'll steal your identity. They'll start acting like you, talking like you. Like I said, telling your jokes. And once they take your identity from you, they start to dump you off because they don't need you anymore. Why? Because they were never an authentic person. They were never an authentic friend. They were a copycat. They were beneath you. Some of them are jealous of you. Not all are jealous of you, but some are. Some are very jealous, envious, and some just don't know who they are. So like I said, they'll pick and choose different characteristics or aspects from you to try to build up to the person that they want to be. And it's inauthentic, right? Because just be yourself. You can't be someone else. You can get around someone all you want and steal their sauce, but it's not going to be the same. And that's what I found with this person. This particular person, we became friends in elementary school, right? So, and that's another thing that I caution against. Like, as you get older, it's okay to drop people off over the years. I had a habit of keeping friends for longer than I should. Hell, I still have friends from pre-K. Still have friends from pre-kindergarten. Now that tells you something. Now I'm not saying that all of my friends from pre-K are bad, because they're not. But some of them along the way, we changed. I'm not just going to put it on them. We changed. I changed too. And it's not necessarily that it was for, everyone's change was for the better or for the worse. It's just a change. And you don't hate these people, but you also don't necessarily have to take them along with you into every chapter of your life or along the journey in your life forever and ever and ever, just because you've known them for a long time. So anyway, this girl that I picked up in elementary school. Now, over the course of my life coaching, you're probably going to hear a lot of stories about her, because this one was a doozy. A doozy. And when you hear some of the things that she's done, you'll probably be like, why the hell did you keep her around for so long? And I'm tell you why. Because empaths are loyal. I'm an empath, and my loyalty, my discernment would tell me things, but then my loyalty would tell me, oh, you've known her for this amount of time, so she's been your friend the longest. How foolish does that sound? To the woman that I am today, that sounds so stupid. But to the girl I was, and when I say girl, I'm talking about early 20s, right? Because our brains are still developing. To the girl I was, it sounds like, poor child. She should have known better. I should have known better. But to the woman I am today, it sounds like, wow. You know, you had something on your hands and you just held on to it unknowingly. But it's not your fault. I'm not going to sit up and beat myself up about it. It's a learning experience. And it can help someone. See how I'm using my empathy? I'm spreading the word, spreading information. Hopefully, I can help someone younger than me or older than me. Because believe it or not, some people are still in that mindset that they have to keep everyone around just because they've been there since the beginning. That's why some people are keeping relatives around. These people are not family, but because they were born into their circle, they feel some type of loyalty towards them, so they keep them around. Some people have been through some things with people, situations, and they feel like that's a need to keep a person around forever, not knowing that both of you are going to change and you don't necessarily have to follow each other to different chapters of your life. So this is knowledge, and knowledge is key. And when I tell y'all, this girl has provided me with a lot of knowledge, okay? So if anything, I can count my loss, right? Count my loss of fake friendship. And I can take it and use it as a learning tool. Because it makes for excellent content. It makes for excellent life lessons. And I talk about it also in my book, Bouncing Back After Breakup, because that's exactly what it is. It's a friendship breakup. You have breakups throughout your life. And we often jump into thinking all breakups have to be romantic breakups. No. You also have friendship breakups. It's a breakup because you're used to having this person in your life, and then all of a sudden you decide you don't want to be bothered with them anymore. There's a period of grief that you have to go through. And sometimes you tend to circle back to these people. Sometimes you have to eliminate all evidence of them because it's hurtful to think about the life or the times that you once shared with these people. But also in my book, I talk about how to move on, because circling back can be to the detriment of you. It can be to the detriment of you. Now, there's some friendships that you can circle back to because the breakup wasn't that deep or the issue wasn't that deep. But it's some people that you have to get the hell away from, and you need to get away fast. Get away quick, fast, in a hurry, and stay there. Okay? Because coming back, you're just going to start that cycle all over again. And you're never going to elevate if you have certain people in your life. Okay, so let me get to it, because clearly I would have never elevated if I had have kept this chick in my life for any longer. So one of the things that she did, all right, it was summer of, well, it wasn't quite the summer yet. But anyway, I was contemplating going to bartending school. And the mistake I made was expressing it to this so-called friend. Hey, I'm thinking about going to bartending school. You know, innocent enough. We have ideas or we have goals and we share them with friends. But now I know that this can be a bad thing. You don't have to share everything. So this is back in the days when I did share everything. I shared everything with a friend. Everything. Because I felt safe. So I shared with this particular friend hey, I'm thinking about going to bartending school. Um, I wanted to work in a club, make that money, because bartenders were popping at that time. So I was like, hey, I can do this. I can be a bartender. I'm going to go to bartending school. That's what I'm going to do. Now, first, when I presented this idea to this particular friend, she was like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know why you want to go to bartending school. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. I'm going. And she was like, no, wait for me. Just wait for me. I want to go with you. Wait for me. And I was like, but I want to bartend like right now. I was like, I'm talking about, I'm about to enroll next week. She was like, no, wait for me. She had a young son at the time. She was like, wait for me. Wait for my, I'm gonna wait till my son get out of school. He finishes, school is done in June. So just wait till June. Wait till June and we can go together. Oh, it'll be fun. Yeah, let's go together. It'll be fun if we go together. So in my head, I was like, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm going to wait for you. That would be fun to go to bartender school for my friend. That way, we could be making the drinks together. It could be an experience, right, for us. So as the months pass, I was like, okay, girl, you ready? You got your money? We're going to go to bartender school. You ready? Let's go. And she was like, yeah. We're going to go in June as soon as my son get out of school. Yep. I'm ready. So as the time got closer, she started talking like, well, I don't think I got the money. I'm not gonna go. And I was like, come on, child. I'm gonna go on my own. Let's go. Okay, we've been planning for this. Let's do it. So she was like, well, I don't think you should go. I think you should just, work at a restaurant and maybe da-da-da. She had all these different ideas. And I was like, girl, I don't know what you talking. I'm going to bartender school. Are you down or no? So see, I kept going back and forth. She tried to talk me out of it. Then she acted like she was with it. Then she tried to talk me out of it. Then she acted like she wanted to be a part of it. Okay, so this is the back and forth. This is the confusion. The confusion that the devil brings, right? So, June got here. I said, girl, it's June. I'm finna go to bartending school. Okay? So, June got here, and I thought it was really odd that I hadn't talked to her for 2 weeks, because leading to this point, we would talk almost every day, maybe every other day. And when June got here, I noticed that she went ghost on me. Hadn't talked to her in about 2 weeks, right? So I'm calling, she's not answering. So she texts me back, hey, I'm busy, whatever, but I'll, give you a call when I can. But she never did. So we're communicating through text. Sometimes she answered me back, sometimes she didn't. She was, hey, I'm going to call you back as soon as I can. A couple of times I called her, she answered as if she was in a tizzy, and she was like, hey, I'm okay. Girl, I'm good. I just been, busy with doing things for my son, but I'm gonna call you back. So she, hit me with one of those. So I went ahead, and something in the back of my mind told me, I was like, this is weird. I didn't know what was going on, but I said, she acting weird. And I said, I don't know if she's embarrassed that she don't have the money or not, because I had my money. I said, but she got some stuff going on. I've waited long enough. Let me go ahead and enroll my tail into bartending school. So that's what I did. I kept her informed along the way. I texted her. I said, hey, girl, I know it's June. I know you've been busy. I know you got a lot going on. Don't feel bad. I know we planned on doing this together, but I'm going to go ahead and enroll. So I didn't hear anything from her. So I enrolled in bartending school. And about, I want to say maybe 3 days after I had enrolled. So I'm keeping her up on everything that's going on. Hey, I'm in. Hey, it's fun. Because it was a fun time. This is what I did today. You know, in my mind, I'm keeping a friend informed. And I also clearly remember telling her, I was like, hey, when you enroll, I can help you out. I'm taking notes. Okay, I'm remembering all the little cheat sheet things, and I'll keep my notebook so you can use it when you enroll. So keep in mind, I had not talked to her in a while, right? So I'm having fun. I'm enjoying bartending school, whatever. So about 3 days into bartending school, after I had, sent her all the little texts and all the little updates about how I'm going to hold on to my notes. So when she finally goes, she can make it through and whatever. So she calls me. So when she calls me, I was like, hey, good to talk to you. Girl, I'm having so much fun. I'm going to make sure I save everything for you for when you enroll. Dad, I wish we could have did this together. She was like, I got something to tell you. I was like, what? Because I didn't think it related at all to bartending school. I thought, maybe it was some news, she had got engaged or something crazy. I'm thinking like, okay, it's a reason I haven't talked to you in this long. I was like, what's up? So I went to bartending school already. Girl, what? Now I know what y'all thinking. You ain't cussed the bitch out? No. The answer is no, because, again, I'm thinking this has been my friend since forever. It's got to be a reason behind it. All of this, is rushing through my head. Plus, I'm trying to process what she just said. I'm like, is she joking? But I know I wasn't smiling no more. And I was like, what? What the hell? And she was like, I know. And y'all know, like I said in another video, I have the memory of an elephant. So I can replay things in my head just like it was yesterday. I have an immaculate memory. So I can remember all the emotions I felt in that moment. I can remember the look I had on my face because I had my cell phone in my hand and I was looking in the mirror at my outfit so I could see my face. My face dropped. My heart dropped. I felt betrayed. I felt belittled. I felt like a damn fool because I felt like, what the hell am I hearing right now? She tried to beat me to the punch. Okay? Some people had told me that this friend was jealous of me all along. And I kind of knew that there were some things about me that she was jealous of. But my empathy told me to hold on to her as a friend. Why? Because she didn't have the same opportunities as me. She didn't get to go to college. Her mom or parents didn't have the knowledge or the funds to send her away to school. She was actually a friend that I would consider was in need when we were in elementary school because she had some issues going on at home. So yeah, she had issues going on at home with her mom and her mom's boyfriend. So she would often, when we were in elementary school, and throughout, she would retreat to my house. She would eat dinner at my house. My mom kind of took her in because she was my friend. So you can see why I felt a loyalty to her, even though throughout the years, she had shown me a lot of jealousy. In my mind, And in my mom's mind, because I would talk to my mom about, she did this. She copied me here. She did this. And sometimes it would piss me off. My mom would be like, well, she's a good friend. You all have a good time together. I know she's jealous of you, but she didn't have everything that you have. Some people, are not as fortunate as you. That's my mom. So where everybody else is telling these stories and they're like, my mom told me that this person was not a friend. I should have listened. I never had that. I never had that. Instead, I had my mom telling me that everybody was my friend. Why? Because my mom is a super empath. If you think I'm an empath, my mom is a super duper empath. She only sees the good in people. And I do believe that that is why I am the way I am today. Because I've seen people come in and out of both me and my mom's life. And she's seeing the good in them. And I see them for who they really are. But I didn't know how to express that fully as a child. And when I got older, I was the one telling her, this chick ain't your friend, Ma. This lady is not your friend. Because I saw the way she looked at you from the corner of my eye when you had your back turned. This lady is not your friend, Ma. Because friends don't do that to each other. That's not a friend. So you can see kind of why I grew to be the way that I am. And why I had a soft spot for this chick. That's what it was. I had a soft spot for this girl. Because like I said, she was unfortunate in life. She was dealt an unfortunate hand. But again, that empathy burned me in the end. I felt sorry for her. And I thought about all the laughs that we had. And I thought to myself, she's still a good person, okay? Even after this incident, I thought to myself, okay, this is the one thing that she's got over you. So maybe she felt, now this is what's going on in my head, believe it or not. So maybe she feels like this is the one thing that she can have up on me. Go ahead, let her have it. Let her have it. Let her have it. So even though I was pissed off initially, I eventually made myself get over it. I said, it's just bartending school. You winning in every other aspect of life. She's always been competing with you. She doesn't compare to you. Go ahead and let her have this. Let her have that win. So then she suggested, I'm so sorry. I know. I should have told you. I know. I was asking her, what made you do it? What made you sneak and do it? What made you do it behind my back? Because in this moment, I'm still pissed off. Before I had a chance to stop and think about, how, let her have this one or whatever. I was still pissed off initially. And she was like, I don't know. It was just something I did. It was on the way from work. I just stopped in to see how much it cost. And when I got there, the guy was like, do you want to stop? And I said, well, why you didn't tell me? It just happened so quick. She was telling that bullshit. Lying. Looking back, I'm like, wow, I should have cussed her out and been done with her. But really, that would have never happened because all of the stuff that she's done throughout my lifetime, at that point, she would have been cut off. We just would have been passing in the wind, probably, in bartender school the same time. But you know what? She wouldn't have had the idea to go if it didn't come from me. So I hope this story reminds you that you cannot friend down. In this scenario, this friend was beneath me. Okay, we should have never been close friends. And I'm not at all saying that she's beneath me because she was dealt an unfortunate hand in life, but what I'm saying is that she was beneath me because her values and morals did not align. And my empathy for her is what was the detriment, became the detriment of me. If I had held on to her to this day, I'm sure she would have got in my life and destroyed more. I probably wouldn't be where I am today, right? Because if I was that same girl that I was back then, I would have told her, what do you think about me becoming a life coach? I would have came to her with my bright idea. I think I want to be a life coach. What you think? Yeah, I should be a life coach. And she would have said, hold up. I don't think you should do that. She would have gave me every reason why I should not become one. And then she would have gotten the bright idea. Well, I think I want to become a life coach. Let's do it together. Let's become life coaches together. Let's go through the process together. So you have to be careful when you friend down. Some people are beneath you. I covered that in another video. They are. I mean, you just got to be straight up. The chick was beneath me. She should have never been allowed in my space. I held on to her for too long as a friend because I felt sorry for her. I felt sorry for the hand she was dealt, that I let my emotions get in the way. And that's why I said, as an empath, you must set and have boundaries, or it will lead to self-destruction. I thank God this fake friend is out of my life. And there's something else that I said in part 1 of this video too that I didn't even think about relates to this whole story time and situation. I said that these people get up in your life and they never leave you directly. They instead begin to treat you poorly until you leave them. And then they blame you. And that is exactly how this fake friend finally made her exit. She got mad at me for some dumb shit. I was not apologizing. I was not trying to seek out why she stopped speaking to me. I just left. Because at that point, my life was taken off in a different direction. I had new friends that were making me feel good about life. And I said, this is how I want to proceed. And so I walked away. And what did she do but stay behind the scenes and try to plant seeds to other people about how I did her dirty? But none of it was true. And guess what? That was the last thing that I let her have, because I did not feel the need to explain myself. I was gone. By this point, I was done. And there was nothing else to say. My success was my final goodbye. And that is how I want you to proceed. But I want you to do an even better one. I want you to never form relationships out of empathy. And this is why I say your empathy is not for everyone. If you need a reminder, please listen to part 1 and part 2 again. Those copycats and those people who are trying to mimic your life, they will betray you every time. They'll try to steal your ideas, because that's exactly what she did. She didn't even have the idea of going to bartending school. That was my idea. And when she realized that she couldn't talk me out of it, she tried to mimic it. Now I'm going to tell you what happens in the end. Did she make it as a successful bartender? Yes. Did I make it as a successful bartender? Yes, I did. But did I share any of my gigs with her? No. Because I ain't no damn fool. Once she did that, I said, okay, the bartending thing, I'm just going to keep it to myself from here on out. I'm not going to share none of that with her. We could have been sharing gigs. It was gigs that I had got that got me thousands of dollars in one night. I didn't share them with her. I shared them with other people. Some were friends, some were people that I didn't even know, but they were cool and I worked with them. So I happened to tell them about gigs that I was getting. Okay, so she got left out of that. I was no longer getting sucked back in to that whole bartending thing with her. I said, from here on out, let me just do my own thing. I don't owe her my next move. But anywho, I digress. Your empathy is not for everyone, and I will stand on that. You can let me know some of your experiences with this in the comments or send me an email. I want to hear. And if you want me to, I can also share. All right, y'all be safe.